So I just found out this tweet by Tobias von Schneider, a famous designer from Austria who works in New York in the US. But this is from April, pretty much 10 days ago, April 18. And he updated Dieter Rams, who is a famous designer who worked for Brown, the updated 2017 list of tech industry edition. So what Dieter Rams wrote was that good design is innovative, good design is honest, good design makes a product, and so on and so on. He goes into describing what good design can do and what good design is. Now, von Schneider updates into good design is disruptive. So this is the point number one. And the word disruptive, I've seen it used in the last year or two as much as I could. It's being everywhere. It's being used and misused so many times that it's actually lost its true meaning, its true purpose. The term disruptive meaning always something negative, whereas now it's been used as something progressive, something innovative. Because in the end, good design is innovative. Now it's disruptive. Now it's something that it has to sort of create a scandal. So it has to be on the front page everywhere at any time, at any moment. So personally, I don't know about using the word disruptive. It's not the best way to describe what good design is, but this is according to what from Schneider good design is. It has become disruptive. The other point is good design is honest, because if you look back, what was designed 30, 40, 50 years ago was about creating a product that was functional, was also good looking. It had both to be appeal, the practicality and meet the eye. So there was a bit of a compromise then between the two characteristics if the product were to be successful. Now, we think is good design, according to updated edition 2017, is agreeing to the terms and conditions. This is true. It has become this online relationship that companies and consumer establishment, well, every year, every time there's a EULA or a term of service update, that's what it has become. A continuous and prolonged legal contract that gratefully provides wealth and virtual limited control with the product for the company, and always a more restricted experience for the user. And we've seen it especially with softwares, things like Photoshop or any other software, whether it might be something for work or whether it might be entertainment like a video game. So if you look at what happened with Adobe, whether before you buy the product, you will spend an X amount of money. Now you subscribe and you're bound by the subscription if you want to use it, like tap water. So you get billed for the amount of time that you leave your water running, and this is a way for Adobe to make more money than we did before. But it's very counterproductive for small-time users, students, and so on. And the other one is good design makes a product addicting. Well, it is. It is addicting because it's not about the single product that it's well built and lasts virtually forever. Now it's about a product that it becomes with a certain specific price that also has to be replaced if you want your service to continue with it, if you want your relationship with a given product to continue. So you do have that. You're not repairing it, either because it's cheaper to replace the product or part of the product, or you have to buy it again. So I'm thinking about Apple. So there are places where you can go and repair your product. Sometimes the Apple service helps you, but in certain condition, you're going to buy the product again, because you know that the experience that you want, the experience that you have, it's become a bit of an exclusive. So this is what addiction is. And certain Apple products have been made for you not to be repaired, so you go and buy them again. So this is why Apple then can surely say, we have more than $40 billion in cash in our bank accounts. It is also addictive because we are not providing definitive satisfaction for the end user. So we always look for more. We'll give it a bit at the beginning, and then we always crave more and more. We cannot be satisfied with a single product because it's not profitable for companies anymore to just sell us one product and sell another one years from the original purchase. Continue with point number 4. Good design is temporary. And it connects to point number 3. I'm talking about addiction. Good design is temporary, whether because the design wasn't well conceived and we have all this weakness coming up front, and what remains is it's a nice experience for the short amount of time for the highest amount of dollars. We often have products nowadays that they have shrunk in size so much that have their components made of the lightest material. So we have lighter plastics that make up for chassis or laptops or any other component. Where before we had the product that weighed a little bit more because there were different components, aluminum chassis or even like iron chassis. Now we have pretty much reinforced plastics and thinner materials and so on and so on. So we got the lifetime of the product is limited. So good design becomes aesthetically nice, but at the cost of its lifespan. Next point number 5, is good design is A/B testing. I believe Schneider is referring to the alpha beta testing, the phase that are the nebula phase for a product or service. This reminds me of the many instances where software companies like Ubisoft or EA, they have sent out products to the public, top dollars like $79, $89, $100, titles like Mass Effect Andromeda or the Assassin's Creed and so on, awfully unpolished and finished, full of bugs. And it's also become A/B testing, yes, because many companies in the business now they allow you to purchase their product, their service in alpha stage or in beta stage. Whether before was the alpha was closed, B was relatively open to a few selected users, and once the A/B testing phase was completed, the game was utterly polished and then sent out for sale. Nowadays, I don't know, maybe the deadlines versus the greed quantity that some companies are going through, this greedy phase, has reduced the A/B testing is the final production quality test. So now we have product services that they're not at the best, they're not how they should be, but yet they are out of the market. Point number 6 is good design is a prototype. Kind of like point number 5, where it's still the alpha beta testing, which is a prototype. I guess that for some companies, the prototype is the definitive stage at which then the product gets launched. The original version of this point made by Dieter Rams is good design is through down to the last details. So in this case, yes, like we just said for point number 5. So we have products that they're not as it should be. So they gotta be sold full of like defects, full of bugs, and sometimes they're not usable at all. So a prototype, yes, because some companies have figured out that if they ship a prototype with all its bugs being called features, they can sell you out their solutions and they can cash in on the bugs they should be implemented in the first place. So this is what it is for disruptive design also. It is about giving a product that it's not how it's supposed to be. It's not how it was announced. But yet, by the law of capitalism, I guess, by the law of marketing, you're getting half of the product, but yet the product was announced 100%, you get 50%, and then you have to pay for the remaining 50%. So you're paying more than what you were promised. Point number 7 is good design makes a product collect data. It's very disappointing how, say from some companies, they have become this sponge of data collection that goes way beyond the basic limits of user information. So whether before was just probably your address, your mailing list, further down sell you through newsletters, to advise on your products or your services, or to help renew subscriptions. Now it has become where they want to know who you are, how old you are, where you live, what do you eat, how much do you have in your bank account. Pretty much we're most on the verge of there. Then probably most likely what is your medical condition. Everything that can be extrapolated from this type of data. Why is that? Because now information is more valuable than the product itself. Take something like Facebook. Originally it was conceived to connect people from one campus to the other one, then to make friendship across the nation. What keeps them running is collecting data from you, because they can sell this information to other companies who are willing to pay millions of dollars for millions of information about users. If something like Facebook, that, if I'm not mistaken, has reached 1 billion of registered user, correct me if I'm wrong, now you have pretty much the information of 1 billion user. So you know who they are, what their habits, what they like, the information, the picture they post, where they've been, and you can extrapolate so much from this information that you can resell and make a huge fortune. Point number 8 is defined as good design is a chatbot, question mark. I'm not too sure what Schneider wanted to point out here, but I think he's referring to the amount of AI that has been implemented into the internet, and how the customer is most likely interfacing not with a human person, but with some sort of algorithm, with an AI that define the customer experience. Most likely because for the vast amount of commerce some company do, they don't have the financial and the manpower to set up shop with a one-to-one person for customer relationship or some sort of like online help. Probably this is what Schneider is referring to, the lack of empathy, the lack of human touch that has resulted with automation, with the rise of the internet, with the rise of artificial intelligence. And furthermore, when we do see 10 or 20 years ahead from now, we're going to have a better and a broader implementation, and we'll see that the role of the human person that's going diminishing, taken away from the picture because of the necessity, and also because one machine can replace hundreds if not thousands of people. So I think this is what, in essence, the point I want to point out. A chatbot, whether it's somebody who's helping you line, whether it's some machine that is doing hundreds of work that belong to people, it sums up to how everything is shrunk to a person speaking to a terminal. I think this is what Schneider wanted to point it out. Point number 9, good design is notification. And immediately I can think of all the notification tabs that I get bottom right on my screen from Facebook, even when I'm not with a page open and logged in. And also notice other websites are picking up this trend. Originally, the point to describe it as good design is unobtrusive, which deals pretty much with how much you want to interact with the company, with the product, with the brand. And ever since Facebook has pulled out this notification system with in their update, it constantly engages the user to become a part of the Facebook dimension. I get notification about things that I didn't even remember. It was probably some message I replied on the wall from a friend or somebody that I barely knew, and suddenly I see a notification that Mr. X or Mrs. Y have notified you about something. And this is why my browser is. And now this is very intrusive actually. I'm not on Facebook all the time, so I'll consider removing this notification tab because it's pretty much useless. I deem social websites interesting and useful to the point where you can turn them off, because there are more important things to do. So you already work a lot with social website, you interact a lot from a personal point of view. So I think that when you want to turn off a bit of the electronics around your house, I don't think that you should see notification on your desktop. Point number 10, good design is pleasing your shareholders. And this is being one of my major discussion points. I've had this topic in my mind for so many years because yes, shareholders are important. Shareholders are the people that invest in your company and now that are demanding a return of their investment. If you have a product that sells pretty well, so you're selling, let's say, a subscription, and it's because of the money that people are willing to pay on a monthly fee. Maybe you have a $10, $20, $30 or $60 monthly subscription, let's say for a music site where you have a limited, unrestricted catalog and services, and you can also download your music and place it anywhere because you're buying the license, which is good. But it's because you're selling your service to people, physical people, that's how you make money in the first place. So when company go all the way and say our first priority is to the shareholders, I'm not convinced that that is the truth. It might be from the budget point of view, from the CFO point of view, but it is not pure from the economical point of view, from the marketing point of view, even from the moral and ethical point of view. If you were to have your service drop down by 50%, how are you going to please your shareholders then? If you have a company that relies on 1 million people subscribing on a $10, $20 monthly basis, suddenly your products decline because there's something better on the market, or you're a dishonest company and you provide a bad service or bad products. And suddenly half of your subscriptions are going out to another company, to your competitors. And what do? How do you please your shareholder if it wasn't for your customer in the first place? So this is why there are some truths that have to be repolished and put it out there. Because when you do have a product that works, who are you catering this product to? You're catering to buyers, not your shareholders. Perhaps your shareholders think your product is crap. Perhaps they don't care about your company as long as they make money. People that are investing money have little to no regards for the company. They only see money. So if they invested 1 million in one lump sum to come up with a company, to invest in a company, they expect 5 million in the next 5 years. Pretty much that's how it works. So there you go. Dieter Rams 10 Principle Design Updated Edition 2017. Sad, very sad, but unfortunately, it's also the truth. Now, as designers and other people who are listening to this, the best way is to probably make sure that we retrofit this updated Tech Industry 2017 edition and pull it back to it's supposed to be, the original Dieter Rams version.